Here we go. I did not post anything, as you can see, from being away. Today it's Wednesday, the 27th of August, and I'm going to try and wrap up. I did take pictures and videos, so I'm going to try and wrap it up with a little. We'll see how little it is. Anyway, yeah. So the 14th, we left the house not too early. It was probably around 8 o'clock, and picked the kids up around 9. And we drove to Montmagny and in Quebec. It was a long drive. Anybody who has driven through or around Montreal knows exactly what I'm talking about. It is crazy. The traffic, the trucks, and of course, at this time of year, the trailers and whatever, and lots of people heading east because they weren't going south. Anyway, it was a long day, and we stayed at a Days Inn that had a pool. So Ian and the kids swam, and I didn't. But yeah, they swam, and then we went out for supper and ate at probably the worst place, the worst meal we had while we were away. And it probably was a combination of, we were tired, the service was lousy because they only had one server for the whole restaurant, so not her fault, and she didn't speak English very well. So, but we managed to do fine. I mean, we don't speak French very well at all. And so, yeah, the food was absolutely horrible and very expensive. So yeah, so anyway, so that was our first day. August 14th, 8:10. Ian is putting in our stats for the morning. And we are on the way to Barhaven to pick up our traveling companions.
Here I am.
Sorry. Ian has done a really good, I can't see it, but Ian has done a really good job of Jenga-ing the trunk, and we'll see if we can get the kids' stuff in there. Yeah. Hopefully we can.
Maybe we just won't take the kids.
No, that's the whole idea of this trip, right? Miles is desperate to see a beach, so we have to show him a beach.
Front door's locked?
Yes, front door is locked.
Got your pills?
Got my pills. Anything else? We have to do the what's it called? The takeoff list or the.
Yeah, you got your pearls?
I do have my pearls.
Excellent.
Okay, we go. The second day, the kids were up really early. I think they were anxious to get going. They were up at like 6 o'clock. They went down and had their breakfast, and we got in the car and we were gone by. I think it was 7:30. We were gone by. And that day we drove through, got out of Quebec, and we got into New Brunswick, and we stopped at Grand Falls. Wow, Grand Falls was not Grand Falls. And you'll see from the pictures that it was not Grand Falls. Grand Falls isn't so grand right now, is it? Yeah. So after, because they've been having a drought as well, after that we drove and we drove, and we went to, that's what I have here. We drove through Heartland, I believe it's called, and it's the world's longest covered bridge. So that was kind of neat to see.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Is that cool or what?
That's so neat.
You can go both directions.
So we did that, and then we got to Fredericton, and Now I can't remember if I don't think we did the Magnetic Hill. I think we did the Magnetic Hill the next day because we got into Fredericton and we stayed at a Quality Inn, which was okay. The beds were okay and stuff like that. And the breakfast was typical buffet breakfast, but it was kind of a shoddy little hotel. I think it was kind of old, but we had a good night's sleep. We're fairly good night's sleep. And then the kids were up again early and we were gone by, again, 7:30, which was nice because we were heading to Nova Scotia by then. I believe that's when we stopped off at the Magnetic Hill. When I went to the Magnetic Hill as a kid, I remember just driving. Now, I mean, like I say, I was a kid, so I don't know if this is a true memory or what, but I just remember driving, getting to the Magnetic Hill, driving to the bottom, and doing the car thing, putting it in neutral, and then you drive back and it looks like you're going uphill. Well, it is a huge theme park now, rides and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it cost us anything to do that, but it cost us $10. That's okay. We experienced Magnetic Hill. It was kind of weird and lame a little bit, but we experienced it. So yeah, so that was good. So yeah, so having left early, we got into Halifax probably 2-ish, something like that. And my sister was all there waiting for us, and we went into her place, and the kids played with her cats, and I think everybody was happy to sit on a real furniture. And Beth had snacks, and we made sandwiches and all that kind of stuff, and then we decided we were getting into our house at 4. Pardon me. And so we decided we would leave around 3 so we could stop and get some groceries and get in. So we did. We got into the house probably around 4:15, 4:30, and it was a lovely place. It was very comfortable. The beds were lovely. Now the only problem we had is that the guy who runs it, he described it as luxury. No, it was not luxurious at all. Things were broken. Things were not what they were described as being. It was lovely, but I think he could have left off the luxurious part of it. It was very comfortable and whatever. They didn't have any coffee pot. We ended up, we went thrifting. My sister works at Valley Village, and the kids wanted to go thrifting. So we went thrifting the next day, and we bought a coffee maker for like $8 and left it there because we don't really drip coffee. So it's Sunday. We went thrifting, and the kids enjoyed their thrifting experience, and then after thrifting, we took them to Rainbow Haven Beach, and they had a really good time there. Never experienced the ocean, so I think it was a good experience for them. They under why do I have crossing bridge there? I don't know. I've got my notes made out, and I've written something here, and I'm not sure exactly what that means. Anyway, yeah, they had a really good time, and we were going to go to Eastern Passage after, but to Fisherman's Cove, but it was too late. Everybody was tired. They were drenched with salt water and salt and sand and whatever. And so we just decided to come home. And that's what we did. We came home. Here we go. Across the McKay Bridge. We don't have to pay no tolls no more. Hello. You'll be on YouTube. I hope you're happy with that.
Irving Shipyard.
Yeah. And Monday we met Beth and Jasmine and her partner Max down at Historic Properties and did all the historic property stuff. Oh my gosh, the people, again, it's crazy. They had 2 cruise ships in. One cruise ship was unexpected because of the storms in down around Bermuda. They were supposed to go to Bermuda, so they didn't go to Bermuda and they ended up in Halifax. And some people weren't that happy about it, but I'm just like thinking like, well, you know, storm Halifax, anyway. And the storekeepers, I don't think were prepared for all these people. Some of these shops were just totally decimated. Mugs, jackets, sweaters, all those things gone. Yeah, and the people on the docks and stuff like that. It was crazy. It was crazy people. But, you know, we wandered around. We had lunch at the dock house, I think. And the kids had lobster poutine. And I think they enjoyed it. They ate most of it. So, yeah, they said they enjoyed that. So, and then we went to Cows because, you know, you have to go to Cows. And they had ice cream. And, yeah, so we did that. And what did we do? We came home and I think we made breakfast for supper that night because I think people were a little tired of eating out. And that was okay with me. Breakfast for supper was fine. So. And then Tuesday, excuse me, the 19th, was our whale watching day. So we got up and we got ready and we drove to Lunenburg, which is only about an hour drive from Halifax. And we got there, we got ourselves all on board and we got on the ship and we went out to sea and we're drying, well, out to the bay. And the whales decided that they were just not going to cooperate that day. And we saw, zip. The only whale we saw was on the way back, and it was a dead whale on the shore that the captain of the boat told us that a shark had got, and there were sharks around the waters. So, yeah, we didn't need a bigger boat. Yeah, so we saw absolutely nothing. So 3 hours of sitting in a boat, you know, I mean, it's an experience in and of itself, of course. And it was very disappointing. Everybody was so disappointed. And I heard one lady ask her, I think it was her son, if they were going to get the money back. Nope. Sorry, honey. Whales don't cooperate. It's not on them. Anyway, it was good to get out, and we wandered. Well, we went and had lunch. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the restaurant that we had lunch at. We did. We went and had lunch, and then they had Dory races, so we watched some of the Dory races.
Wait, are they genuinely from like the show Survivor?
Yeah.
Ah.
Like. Tis the Dory races. And of course, I can't go to Lunenburg without going into the Mariner's Daughter. And I did. And I bought myself some stuff for my birthday. This was my birthday yarn haul. Or Mariner's Daughter haul. So the next day was happy birthday to me. And we had a lovely morning. What did we do? I think we just hung around the house that morning because I think we needed a little bit of downtime. So yeah, so we went out, we stayed in, and then our lunch was at, we went to the Bicycle Thief, which is a very popular restaurant in Halifax, and we were wanting to go for supper, but my sister could not get a reservation. The reservation she could get us for that particular day, which is the day we wanted to go, was $3.45. So we had we started calling it Lupper. Because we're so clever, you know. So anyway, it was lovely. We went down and we walked around a little bit. Met my middle sister at the restaurant, and they gave me gifts, which was wonderful. Excuse me. And we had a lovely supper. And my sister told the server that it was my birthday, and I'm glad that they don't sing happy birthday at the Bicycle Thief because I would not have liked that. But anyway, I ordered, I would not have ordered this if I was going to eat it by myself, but my younger sister, and I shared a creme brulee. Now, we are both lactose intolerant, so we both popped our Lactaid, and fingers crossed, and it wasn't too bad, but I mean, the creme brulee was delicious. And they wrote a little happy birthday on the plate, which was as much happy birthday as I wanted. And Ian gave me this lovely little mug from Lunenburg. So the next day we went to Peggy's Cove, and again, way too many people. I could not. I don't. I don't do crowds very well, and I don't like people touching me that I don't know. And it was a lot of people and a lot of pushing and shoving, and I don't know what it is about when people are together like that. It's almost like they don't think of others. They're just only thinking of themselves. And there was, like I say, there were a few elbows, and there were a few pushing in front of and pushing aside, and I didn't like that at all. So we met up with my middle sister, and my niece and her 4 kids, and my nephew, which I'd seen my niece and 2 of her kids earlier, but it was really nice to see my nephew. I haven't seen my nephew in a while, so yeah, it was nice to see him. So yeah, so then we came home. We do. We came home, said goodbye to my younger sister, which was always sad, and yeah, I came home, and my brain is. We did stop at a place on the way back called the Finer Diner, I think it was called. I'll put a picture up. And had a nice lunch there. I think I ate too much there. I had a burger, and that filled me up, and I really was not hungry. So yeah, and I think everybody else probably had more. I think we were hungry at lunch, and so we kind of all ate too much. So yeah, so that night for supper, Ian found a sushi place and went and got him and the kids sushi for supper. I don't like sushi, and it's not the fishy part. I just don't like that whole, I don't know, seaweedy rice. Anyway, I had cereal, and we just had a quiet evening because it was time to get ourselves ready to go home. So we all packed up, and we were all set to go home. So yeah, so we had a very quiet evening. So yeah, so then we get packed up and we left. And we came home. We took 2 days to come home, and here we are back, just like that. Anyway, it was a lovely holiday, and I was glad to give the kids that experience. I did absolutely no knitting. I think I did a few rows on a dishcloth coming back because Riley's stomach was a little upset, so she sat in the front seat for a bit. So yeah, so I did a bit of knitting there, but I did nothing. I took 3 projects. Hey, knitters out there, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that was the knitting, the knitting thing. We got home on Sunday. I'm thinking we got home around 3 or 4. We stopped at the grocery store on the way home, and we picked up a couple of pizzas for supper, and we picked up milk and some bread and stuff for breakfast the next morning. So we didn't have to pop out first thing in the morning, which was very nice. The gardens don't look too bad. I was kind of surprised. All the pots are pretty much done, but I figured that. I've got, I'll show you. I've got them in my sunflower vase that I picked up sunflowers for myself yesterday. But I've got some dahlias. I put them in there. So there we are. There we go. Yeah. There's a few dahlias there. They're kind of tiny dahlias, but they're blooming. And yeah, so one of the hibiscus, my big hibiscus, looked pretty desperate, and I was a little worried. But I gave her some water, and she has perked up, so that's good. Yeah. So yeah, so the shed pots are done, and that's okay. I figured that they would be by the time we get back, and I'm okay with that because the weather has changed, and it's time to start thinking about fall. I gotta think of my fall color scheme. I'm thinking of going with yellow and maybe white. I don't know, yellow, and I don't know. Yellow is going to be one of the colors anyway. So that's it. Oh yes, and I picked up my tomatoes. They're very small, but like, you know, they're little tiny things. Although there's some that are that big. There's some that are, you know, good size. But most of them are little. But I'll freeze them. And yeah. So the update on next door is that yes, the husband next door passed away. I have nothing else that I know about. I haven't been able to talk to my neighbor next door and find out, not that it's, I don't, you know, I mean, I don't really, not that I don't care. It's just, you know, I mean, it's just unfortunate. I think he was like 45. And I'm just from what was happening over there, I'm making a speculation, which I probably shouldn't. I'm assuming that there was something very, very tragic that happened. So anyway, there's a big rent sign, and there's been people over there cleaning since we've been back. And like I say, that was Sunday. So the last 3 days they've been over there cleaning. And the other unfortunate news we got was that my nephew Ian's brother's son, his wife passed away, and she's been sick for the last probably 3 years, and yeah, she passed away while we were away. And Robert, you know, he didn't want to reach out to Ian and tell him while we were away because he didn't want to be a bummer on our trip. Anyway, so two wonderful bits of news to come back to. Anyway, like I said, we had a lovely holiday, and glad to have given the kids that experience. And here we are. We're back home, getting ready for fall. I'll just show you. I bought myself some fall placements. I guess I have to have a dinner party now. Anyway, I'm going to try and get this put together with pictures and all that kind of stuff, which always takes me a while, and get this up. And then I can maybe get back to doing a weekly wrap-up. So there we go. I hope everybody has a good Labor Day weekend, and I'll see you next week.